What's up, YouTube? This is Let's Talk Horror Movies, bringing you guys another new movie review. Today I'm reviewing The Strangers Chapter 2, which stars Madeline Petch, directed by Renny Harlin, and also starring Richard Brake. This is the next chapter in the trilogy of the Strangers, made by Renny Harlin, who is well known as the guy who did Nightmare on Elm Street, Dream Master, not Dream Master. Is it Dream Master? Yeah, Dream Master. Then Deep Blue Sea, Die Hard 2, Cliffhanger, and Legend of Hercules with Kellen Lutz in 3D. So this is starting off as the trilogy. This was planned. This was shot in 52 days, but then they had to do another few weeks of reshoots on 2 and 3. Chapter 2 did a week and 3 weeks on Chapter 3. At one point, I heard that the reveals were spoiled, and so they had to go back and reshoot it, but I think that's also because people did not like the first one. The first one was not well received. People hated it. People thought this was a disrespect to what the original film was. They did it worse as a remake. It didn't feel any different. There are differences to this film to that original. I'm sorry to people who don't say that there are differences. Is it a lot of changes or a lot of differences? That's fair, but there are enough differences to be like, this is not the same like the 2008 film. But there's so many nods and things to that original film that I think for a lot of people, it's just like, if you're going to do this, you need to do it better, or you need to do something different, and don't do the suspense thriller aspect. And the home invasion thing, and it just wasn't as effective. I still was entertained enough by it because there's things I like, the ideas of concepts of they had with the town thing. That's what I really liked about it. And that's more of what happens here. This is a town invasion film. It's a chase film. That's what I really liked about it, and that's what really works for me, because I really like this movie. I'll probably see it again with the family this week. I don't know when. I might see it again by myself as well. But again, going in, I just wanted to have fun. I was hoping to like it enough, like the same as the first one. But this one I thought was hugely improvement. And again, I think it's on things that people are not going to like about it, ironically. That's what's so ironic or really funny, is that the stuff that I think really work about the film are the things that are not going to work for other people, which I thought I was going to probably be on that side, but it worked for me. And I guess I'm just different that way. Apparently, like, different enough. Like, again, this is it's, yeah. So the biggest strength of this movie is Madeline Petch as Maya. She really goes for it in this film in terms of just her physicality and the emotional elements she has to go through. She really puts it in. She goes through a lot. It feels relentless on her, or it never feels like it stops. Even when it does stop at times, it just feels like it will just keep on going. And that's what I really liked about it. That there's a few more kills here. There's a little bit more blood. It's not a gore fest, but there's enough there. I wouldn't say, is it enough for Carnage Candy people? No, but there was enough there. But there was just something about this I enjoyed, and there's understandably there's not as many people there's more people here. But it's just like, when you're expecting the kills and stuff like that, I'm not expecting over the top stuff kind of thing, which I think there's one scene maybe where you kind of wish they could have showed, but you still get the blood and the aftermath kind of thing. So it didn't bother me, because going into all the Stranger films, they're not gore fests. I think Prey Night was probably the goriest. And even then, that's, but again, they're not gory. They're not the gory stuff, but again, I think you get enough, a little bit, some more brutal images in the film, especially with one scene. But I think she does a hell of a job. There's the car scene. I think she does a really good job specifically, but she's really good, and she's a big selling point in the film. I think the cinematography, the visuals, the way the movie looks, I think it's really, really good. It looks beautiful. It looks that the atmosphere when it's at night is really effective, I think. the way they use certain colors in the hospitals, outside, and the woods. Like I really appreciate the effort into that, and this does feel like, and to me, this is Rennie's best directing of the two films so far. I think the first one felt like he was just trying to get to this he was just going ABC. Look, and I know people are probably going to disagree with me on that. So in the like, this definitely felt like he was going for something. This is what he wanted to tell. And I'm going to say the same thing for probably Chapter 3, is where those are the two movies that he really wanted to tell what they wanted to tell. But unfortunately, with Chapter 1, they had to do their own take on kind of The Strangers 2008 without trying to be it. But though a lot of people say that's to say you really did more than you think trying to be 2008 the original. But I think he really did. I think he had a better eye for this one. Again, there's just something about this one that just felt directed better, or just felt like he was trying to be more ambitious here, more, with more things going on and more moving around, and not just. It worked a lot. It just worked better. There's certain things they handled with a character, with the character, the flashbacks, the choices they make there, that it affects the Strangers concept, and that is going to be that's going to be a big choice. That's going to be big for a lot of people, but it will not work for a lot of people, and for most people it will not. And I understand it. I'm not going to be the one person that says, like, no, you got to like this. Nope, I'm not going to say that, because I understand. I get why people didn't like the I'm just talking about, like, the choices with the characters and how they handle the concept. I'm not talking about the script or the dialogue or anything like that. And this movie doesn't have a lot of dialogue, actually. It feels like it doesn't have a lot of dialogue, which is an interesting choice, but I appreciate that choice. I think it made it much more effective, and you didn't have a lot of really cheesy dialogue throughout the film, where a lot of slashers do tend to have that. I do appreciate that. I like some of the other actors who are looked as, like, I like the concept of the town like how Rennie says, a town invasion movie, and how she cannot trust people. She really can't. She's trying not to trust people, and it's really effective in how they get to that point. And even if you suspect people, you're just like, even if there's the more obvious aspect, but even then, it's just like, there are people. There's one person in particular that's kind of obvious, I feel like, but at the same time, like, it didn't bother me. I don't know why, I guess because you're thinking, I don't know. That's an interesting one. One of the characters definitely felt like they try to make it pretty obvious on what it is, or who this certain character is, but I don't know, that part I'm really like, but I like that aspect of the town invasion stuff, where she doesn't trust anybody, and especially with this one person I've been saying, like, yeah, it's obviously there's something off with him, and for a lot of people that's going to be an issue. It's like, oh, it's so obvious kind of thing, and again, we have to wait and see, won't we? Because this movie also ends on a cliffhanger, which says to be continued, and we get a little clip of Chapter 3. I'm really curious to where this is going. So getting back to the it's a positive and negative for me, because on one hand, the ambitious, the ballsy of going for what they're doing with the flashbacks and the character stuff, that I was just like, oh, I didn't see. I mean, I didn't see this coming. It's not what I was thinking. I didn't think we were getting flashbacks like this, or anything really like that. And then it's like, oh, I see how they handle this and how it enters something else. And I'm like, I'm telling this in my head, and like, oh boy, this is, I see where people did not like this. It's unfortunate when you're talking about a franchise, when you're talking about something iconic, something that people do love, and you're trying to do something different and something that's not what you would do for this concept, it is risky, and just like you're going to really you're putting yourself out there. And unfortunately, so far the movie has gone over 2 for people, and I don't know how you can come, like, for a lot of people, like, how will chapter 3 hit? I'll just say that that little clip is definitely interesting, where they're going to go, because I have to see where it goes, you know. But so yeah, in the long run, so overall, I think The Strangers Chapter 2 is a huge improvement from Chapter 1, at the very least. That's what I'll say is a huge improvement. It's better than Chapter 1 in my opinion. The performance is really good from Madeline. The cinematography, the atmosphere, I think is pretty effective. There's some jump scares that got people actually in the theater. And it's not the kind of stupid jump scare. I think it's one that and one of them is actually in the trailer, and it was really done pretty well. Especially how it got people in the theater. I'm like, oh, whoa. Like, I think because I saw it coming because it's the trailer. I don't know how many people saw, but it got people. So I was impressed at how I was able to get there from how in the trailer was. But you know, I would recommend this to people who aren't are open-minded to something different from these films. Different enough anyway. So that's what I recommend. Will recommend if you're open-minded to about something different and something not. But I think people don't think this is even different. They think it's kind of just standard slasher fare, and I think there's some differences for if you're talking about the Stranger franchise. This is different. I think this is as different as you want to go, maybe, because if you try anything else different, I think people would. I don't think it would look. I don't know what else different you could really do in terms of not just the standard things we've seen, in the previous movies. So I do give this a 4 out of 5, and I hope you guys do like it. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought. Did you guys love it? Did you guys hate it? Did you guys think it was okay? You thought it was meh? What did you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. This is Let's Talk Horror Movies, signing off. Peace.